The devs of the new Suicide Squad desperately try and win people over. Old School RuneScape sees an insane resurgence, and as if Modern Warfare 3 wasn't bad enough, there's now a pay-to-win skin. I'm Dixon, and this is Ginx News. When it was announced that Rocksteady were working on a new Suicide Squad game, they had all the ingredients for success. Their previous Arkham games were universally adored, you had a fresh cast for new stories, and it had been 7 years since they'd released anything, so you'd hope they'd been cooking up something good. Well, 7 months ago they showed off some gameplay, and things deteriorated pretty quickly, because despite its level of polish, it quickly became apparent that it was a generic loot and shooting live service game. And if there's a trend that people hate right now, it's live service games. It basically looks like Destiny 2, but with a DC skin, and don't get me wrong, Destiny can be fun, but boy, does it have a rocky past. Well, following the torrent of negativity, Rocksteady went radio silent for a bit. Until this week when they dropped a 20-minute story and gameplay deep dive. And considering the game is just 3 months away, it's probably good that we got some more details. It takes place in the new game world of Metropolis, a sprawling city that's about twice the size of Gotham City from Arkham Knight, and to get around, the squad have their various methods of fast-paced traversal. Deadshot has a jetpack, Harley Quinn has a grappling hook and glider, and I can't lie, it looks pretty satisfying. They were keen to emphasize that each character has a different playstyle, but this is where I started getting concerned again, because I was excited to hear how they're going to unleash the power fantasy of each anti-hero. And then they came out with this line.
Captain Boomerang uses a mix between sniper rifles, SMGs, and shotguns.
Like, what? I mean, his name is literally Captain Boomerang. Why isn't his playstyle focused on, you know, boomerangs? Now, they do show off some cool looking boomerang abilities, but I can't help but worry that we'll have one signature ability that's on some like 20-second cooldown, meaning for the most part, we're just spraying and praying. Also, they were extremely light on the game's live service features, which is what most people are concerned about. However, an accompanying press release confirmed a battle pass with free and paid tiers, along with outfits, weapons, color swatches, and weapon dolls, wherever they are. And the response, yet again, has been overwhelmingly negative, though I do feel like the visceral hate people have for live service games is clouding their vision a bit here. People are slating every aspect of the game, but for me, there definitely seems like there's a lot of potential for fun here. We know Rocksteady can tell great stories, the traversal looks slick, and the designs do look polished, but then again, that will just make it all the more frustrating if it does turn out just to be a generic live service game. The feeling of what could have been is a frustrating one, and boy, do I know that feeling well. I'm still salty about the live action Airbender movie that doesn't exist. But I digress. I'm curious what you think. Did you see any redeeming qualities in the deep dive, or do you think it's a write-off? Let me know in the comments down below. You know, the gaming industry is a funny business, because while publishers pour millions into new AAA live service games, a whole load of people are perfectly content playing titles from 2001. In fact, Old School RuneScape reached over 190,000 concurrent players this week, a new record since it relaunched 10 years ago. Not bad for a game that looks like this. It's in large part due to the release of a new league, which is a temporary game mode where players make a fresh character and experience the game in a new, unique way. Now, I won't lie, I personally haven't touched RuneScape in years, but as a kid who grew up poor, you can bet that a free, low-spec browser game was right up my street, alongside Adventure Quest, Neopets, and of course Habbo Hotel. But it was RuneScape that taught me some very valuable lessons. First of all, how not to fall for scams. We've all been hurt by that sweet promise of trimmed armor. Plus, we learned how to land a hot date. Works every time. But as I'm out of the loop, I was keen to know why so many people still play, so I reached out to my brother Aaron for some insight. He said, I'm only casual, but I play for fun to see the numbers go brrr. Which is fair, some people like the grind. Also, you may have spotted it, but that's right, my brother is in fact Seth Everman. I did ask if he was cool with that joke, in which he labelled himself Seth Everman from Wish, before saying, you can use me however you like. Whatever you say, step bro. I joke. We're full biological siblings. Oh, back to the story, and he went on to mention a whole load of reasons why people play. The Iron Man mode is super rewarding, it massively scratches that nostalgia itch, and he said ultimately you can break the game, do everything yourself, and just play however you want. Plus he mentioned that a big draw is the community, and considering it's just a large group of people that played browser games back in 2007, you can bet that they have some hot memes. Plus, even I remember the legendary figures like Zazima, who apparently still plays to this day. And let's be honest, RuneScape players are just a different breed. Over on the subreddit, someone called Avenged Callus shared how they collected 1 million monkfish, which is a baffling choice because there's fish which are both easier to catch and just heal for more. But no, they instead spent 2,500 to 4,500 hours catching monkfish. Now, RuneScape players will tell you that it is a game that you can just have on in the background, but still, their only reasoning for doing this was personal preference and stubbornness. Like, what does that even mean? Either way, does all of this make me want to return to RuneScape? Nope, not even a bit. But boy, will I be cheering it on from the sidelines, because by God, do I respect it. Modern Warfare 3 hasn't had the best start in life. First, you had the torrent of awful reviews, then you have the Twitch numbers being down, and now there's a skin that everyone is calling pay to win. It's called Gaia, and no, it doesn't buff damage or make you run faster. Instead, it simply turns you into some Groot-like entity. That might not sound that bad until you see it laying down in some foliage. And yet, pretty ridiculous. In fact, I can't even comprehend how they thought this was a good idea. I mean, the whole point of camo is that it helps you blend into your environment, such as long grass, trees, and bushes. So it's probably a little OP when you can play as a literal shrub. Plus, to make things worse, look closely and you can see it's essentially a framework of sticks, meaning a whole load of the skin is just transparent. Which is lovely to play against, I guess. But hey, this is Activision. Maybe I should give them credit for not letting bullets fly through the gaps. Now, it's worth noting that you can technically get the skin for free. That's if you've accumulated enough CP from previous seasons. But even if it was free, it looks like a big problem. And I should mention, this skin was originally added in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, which has been carried over because, you know, the game is basically just DLC. And Activision has already patched it once to improve visibility, so God knows how bad it was before. But due to the nature of the maps in Modern Warfare 3, particularly on ones like Wasteland and Estate, things have just got a whole lot worse. So this will go one of two ways. Either they'll patch it soon, or Call of Duty will continue to look like the Battle of Isengard. Wouldn't that be fun? And that's the show. A big thanks for checking it out. A like and subscribe massively helps us grow as a channel, and we want you to join us for the ride. If you missed out on yesterday's video, you can check it out somewhere around here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.